What does it really mean to live in a free society? Many assume we are free simply because the West hasn't descended into the kind of brutal dystopia depicted by George Orwell's in 1984. But is the absence of overt tyranny enough to claim we are truly free? Or could it be that we are living in a different kind of dystopia, one more subtle, more seductive, like the world Aldous Huxley imagined in Brave New World? Take a moment to ask yourself, if you were not free, would you even know it? Goethe once wrote, "No one is more hopelessly enslaved than the one who falsely believes they are free." Nearly 2 centuries later, his words may be more relevant than ever. Have we become so immersed in technology, entertainment, pornography, and pharmaceuticals that we've lost sight of the chains slowly closing around us? Could it be that the very things that make life feel pleasurable are the tools of our own subjugation? When Brave New World was published in 1931, Huxley didn't believe his fictional society was just around the corner. But what changed his mind? After the horrors of World War II, the spread of totalitarian ideologies, and the explosive growth of science and technology, Huxley saw something terrifying: the possibility that people could be controlled not by force, but by pleasure. So ask yourself, are we genuinely free, or are we simply distracted enough not to care? In a 1961 speech, Huxley warned that, in the future, the ruling classes would not need to use force to control populations. Instead, they could do it more subtly, by flooding them with a constant stream of pleasures. So how can pleasure be used to deprive someone of their freedom? To answer this question, we need to understand the concept of operant conditioning, a behavior modification technique. In the 20th century, Harvard psychologist B.F. Skinner conducted a series of experiments in which he tested different methods for generating new behaviors in rats. These experiments demonstrated how external forces can condition humans to accept their servitude. In one set of experiments, Skinner used positive reinforcement, rewarding rats with food whenever they exhibited the desired behavior. In another set, he attempted to eliminate certain behaviors through painful stimuli. Although punishment produced immediate results, it was positive reinforcement that proved more effective and long-lasting, producing behavior changes over time. Huxley, who was well aware of Skinner's experiments, understood their socio-political implications. In Brave New World and in his later writings, he predicted the rise of an oligarchy that would use similar methods to manipulate the human population, conditioning it into docility and thereby reducing the likelihood of social revolt. Like Huxley, Skinner understood the deep social implication of his experiments, but his vision was different. While Huxley saw operant conditioning as a tool of tyrannical control, Skinner believed it could be used by social engineers to create a scientifically managed utopia for the benefit of humanity. However, a passage from Skinner's book Walden 2 reveals that large-scale conditioning could, in fact, pave the way for a more insidious form of tyranny, one in which people would be enslaved, yet believe themselves to be free. In the world of Brave New World, the main tool of control was positive reinforcement through a superdrug called soma. The world controllers encouraged its systematic use among citizens to maintain social order. Taken daily, soma offered, according to Huxley, an escape from reality, providing euphoria, pleasant hallucinations, or deep sleep, depending on the dose. In addition to its relaxing effects, the drug also increased suggestibility, which amplified the effectiveness of propaganda to which citizens were constantly exposed. Nevertheless, the controllers of Brave New World did not rely solely on drug use. Sexual promiscuity was encouraged from childhood, with the motto, "Everyone belongs to everyone," instilled in citizens' minds. Monogamy and family institutions were abolished, allowing everyone to freely satisfy their sexual desires. This sexual freedom served as another distraction, ensuring that people remain unaware of the reality of their own submission. Moreover, state-sanctioned entertainment played a crucial role in maintaining this invisible prison. Huxley described the use of endless and fascinating distractions as political tools employed to flood citizens' minds with irrelevancies, thus preventing them from questioning the system. The similarities between the society of Brave New World and modern societies are impossible to ignore. In his work Brave New World Revisited, published in 1958, Huxley explored these parallels even further, warning about the dangers of a society that seeks control through pleasure and distraction instead of obvious repression. Huxley reflected on how the social engineers of the future would convince the masses to consume pills that made them think, feel, and act in alignment with their interests. His conclusion was simple: it would probably be enough just to make those pills available. Today, it's estimated that 1 in 6 Americans uses some type of psychotropic drug, while an opioid epidemic ravages the West. At the same time, the ease of satisfying sexual impulses online has trapped many in pornography addiction, and technologies like smartphones offer such absorbing distractions that they consume most people's attention for much of the day. How much of these distractions are deliberately promoted, and how much simply reflects consumer preferences? That question remains open. What is evident, however, is that a population consumed by diversion and disconnection lacks the focus and awareness needed to challenge its own bondage. As long as the prevailing attitude is, "Give me fast food and entertainment, but spare me the burden of freedom," then liberty stands little chance of surviving. In fact, as individuals continue to surrender their independence in exchange for gratification and ease, the kind of psychological conditioning that Huxley foresaw will only grow more refined and powerful, especially as technology evolves and our understanding of human behavior deepens. Will we have the strength to reject this manipulation, or will we even care enough to try? That remains to be seen. If current patterns persist, society may eventually split into two factions: those who embrace a life of comfortable subjugation and those who stand firm, fighting not just to safeguard their freedom, but to hold on to their essential humanity. As Frederick Douglass, the former slave and 19th century abolitionist, warned long before Huxley's vision was published, when a man becomes content in his chains, he surrenders the very essence of what it means to be human. Do you know what bothers me? Feeling lonely and not having anyone to talk to. So, if you like philosophy, I invite you to be part of the channel and be part of our community. We are always exploring new ideas, questioning concepts, and delving into issues that challenge the way we see the world. Every subscription makes a huge difference and helps keep these philosophical conversations alive.